First time.
We'll see where Fnatic go with their final lock. Of course, support is the easiest role to pick here. Get something like a Braum so you can't get it banned away. But there are a litany of different options.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot they can look to go for. Could take mid and ban two good options here.
Yuumi is still available, but I wouldn't really want to team it up with Nefelios. And it's going to be Tahm Kench for Hylissang. Does make it harder to int.
Makes it harder for your AD carry to int.
Yep.
Not sure if it goes both ways there, but of course having the thick skin will be a good tool. And now another global added into the mix. This already feels like it's going to be a very frantic game with a lot of people flying all across the map. Now I would like to switch gears and look more at Misfits coming out of this next ban phase, because right now they have, you know, a very flexible top laner, mid lane, whatever. Also a power initiation combo out of the bot lane with that Rakan. This could be a spot for Razork's Echo. You need some magic damage. You're already filling the requirement of having some sort of external initiation. And if you can dive into the backline and force Tahm Kench to use his Devour and then ulti, like that's a very good tool to try and be able to burst out of a fight. So that is what I am looking for. That's what I want to see, because Razork's Echo is sick.
And you can see Fnatic say, we want to get rid of at least one AP jungler. In that Talia. Vladimir is going to be the other ban. So Echo is available. Teams up really well with the Rakan as well for that follow-up engage. Misfits looking for their final ban. So far, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jungle bans. And no junglers picked as of yet.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Elise would be the other AP jungler you could go towards, and with a Pantheon too, like, that is such a powerful diving combination. Honestly, if I was Fnatic, like, Selfmade has gone towards that at least a couple times. He could pick it up himself. Of course, that would mean that they need to rely on maybe a Nemesis to provide more initiation tools. So this is actually feeling like a really weird game for Selfmade in particular here, because they just don't have a lot of great ways to start off a fight if he goes for something like an Elise.
Well, things like the Amumu were buffed this patch. Instead, the Rek'Sai looks to be the pick. He's played that once already this split. Gives you a little bit of initiation, but not the hard engage, something like a Sejuani or a Gragas or a Talia can provide. And now Misfits have their mid laner and their jungler to lock in.
Is it going to be the Echo?
Echo, Echo, Echo.
I want the Echo.
I'm hearing Echo a lot recently.
Dude, I really want it, man. Especially if you go for an Azir here, like, you're already saying that you have great scaling options. I think you can maybe try to lean into that more. Misfits are a team that can really, you know, like, buckle down early on, not fall victim to these Rek'Sai ganks. I say you do it. I say you do it.
Well, we know where your preference is the word I was looking for, lies. Misfits could go towards the Echo. You've got your fingers crossed, you've got your toes crossed. And instead, it's going to be set. Set. Whoa. Okay. Okay. So options, set jungle, set top.
I am always going to say set top. I think set jungle sucks. Like, you can put set in the jungle if you get hard counterpicked somehow, but I personally believe you throw set up into that top lane, bring Pantheon into the jungle. Very reliable gank setup early on. Yes! Love it.
I love it. Okay.
This is the second time I've gotten the Nemesis Veigar so far this split, and I actually think this is a great spot for it one more time. Let me give you the reasoning. Basically, you see scaling on the other side in the Azir. Veigar, he can match it, but also having the ability to throw down the cage against 4 melee champions that just need to run into you is super, super powerful. Rakan is miserable against Veigar. You can't do anything, and if you go for the Glacial Augment build with those spooky ghosts, you get the Snow Hose too. Like, what is Set gonna do? What is Pantheon has to ulti into the backline, and then he's gonna be super, super exposed. So I think this is a great spot for the champion.
Last time it was played by Nemesis was against G2. They ended up losing that game. Not all of it was Nemesis's fault, but a lot of the discussion was around whether the Veigar was a good pick. Misfits Gaming here, cracking out the set top lane for Dan, the Pantheon jungle for Razork. I've heard rumors of it, but we really haven't seen it at all this year in the LEC. And as both of the coaches leave the stage, you have to wonder what's going through not only their minds, but the players' mind. Did Fnatic Galaxy Brain the draft again? Did Misfits, with their tactical turtlenecks, manage to find an answer? Because everything was left up in the air until those final moments. And with a first position in the LEC on the line, this game matters more than most. Remember, it's not just about playoffs, it's about getting those top 2 spots. It's about getting the bye into the second round. It's a tough road for both these teams. There's no game that is easy anymore. And as the tension has been built, as the crowd is silent, on the edge of their seats, ready for the game, we have a pause, I'm afraid. So we're going to have to wait for just a couple of minutes. I believe it was Selfmade who's paused. You can see the league official is behind him, just working out exactly what the issue is. And we'll get back on into the action as soon as we can.
These are those moments where I wish we could just play that music video again, like once the pause is over to get us in a game. Then, of course, we'll probably jinx it. We get another pause immediately coming out of that one.
That's true. I am really excited for the start of this game. Obviously, it's been slightly delayed, but these two teams are actually some of the most bloody teams we have in the league. Their combined kills a minute. Fnatic is up there almost at 1 kill a minute in their wins. Misfits down just a little bit. Both of them tend to get early game leads. Both of them tend to have a lot of kills at 15 minutes. We said it was going to be all over the map when you started seeing those global ultimates, but I think it's going to be all over the map early on.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really fun one to watch right here. I mean, of course, a lot of the talk leading into this matchup in particular has been about both of these junglers. Selfmade and how he's integrated so seamlessly into this Fnatic team. Also, Razork, with his, interesting picks like the Echo really stepping up as one of those strong rookie candidates early on in the split. And now they've both been given tools to impact the game early, right? Selfmade's on his Rek'Sai, Razork showing us this jungle pantheon that we have not seen a whole lot of, but certainly has the ability to find early leads and try to shut down some of these lanes, and it's something I'm going to have to keep my eyes on.
Just as a note, Selfmade has some issues with his peripherals, so we are going to restart his PC. Hopefully that should rectify the issue. That is the goal here. And I do want to talk a little bit about the Pantheon in the jungle. As you said, Razork has stepped up for this Misfits team quite a few times. What are your thoughts? What are your expectations coming out from this pick?
Well, it's really funny because the majority of my Pantheon jungle prep has actually come from watching Selfmade stream.
Okay.
Because he's just actually been spamming the champion non-stop on his account. So I'm like, this is how Selfmade would play it. So of course, Selfmade's probably the guy that can play against it. But what this Pantheon can do is, everyone, like, the clear speed is going to be pretty all right. He has a lot of AoE tools, so I can already see in the client now he started with the Hunter's Machete, or sorry, the Hunter's Talisman rather, where his Q, when you tap it, can hit every target like in a Raptor camp. His E also can do very similar things, so it's going to be a healthy clear for him. And then, of course, when you look to ganks at level 2 or level 3, you can just rock that W and get really, really excited. I'm also wondering if Misfits want to go for an invade themselves, because something you can do on this champion is just skill W at level 1, go for that immediate point-and-click CC, follow it up with a Recon 2, and try to blow early flashes. Because if you can get a flash in that first invade, that sets up for a very easy gank in sort of the 2 to 4 minute window.
Well, see if Razork decides to go for those early ganks. Of course, has some CC in his lanes. Dan can use that face breaker to pull someone back in the top lane if Whippo overextends. Denick has the grand entrance as well, and you've got the Blade Caller coming out from B-Voy. So if Hylissang perhaps steps a little bit too far, he's not going to be able to escape too easily. If Whippo steps a little bit too far, he's not going to be able to escape too easily either. However, on the other side, Selfmade will be trying to track him. You have to expect counter ganks galore is the expectation, and I believe in just a moment we're going to get back on into the games as the teams are giving me the ready up in chat, and I'm going to say in 2 and 1 the game has resumed. However, I forgot that we wait a second before showing it on the big screen.
Not supposed to tell them.
Here we go.
We're going to be able to show it soon enough, but honestly, I'm excited to see what Misfits can do from this level 1. I was just talking about it, how you can take W level 1 on the Pantheon. You see a sweeper in Denick's inventory too. So like, these guys are on the hunt. They are ready to go. They will be spotted out by Hylissang.
Yeah, Hylissang sees all of Misfits go into the jungle. Razork's on the top side. The Fnatic fans are out in force this week. Always Fnatic, I believe, is the motto. And they get louder. I wonder if it's like a volume control. But I say Misfits fighting.
Oh my, it's working.
It goes down, yeah. Always Fnatic. Gets louder.
I was wondering if we'd have any fans for the ward kill, but not today. As Misfits still hanging around inside the jungle. You see they put down a lot of vision.
Yeah, there's so much vision.
You talked about bloody games between these two squads. It's about to get bloody. Right now, luckily for Fnatic fans, I'll keep you in this one. Selfmade's on the top side of the map, so Misfits shouldn't be able to find a kill, but they are waiting for the last possible second, probably to blast Cone over into that blue pit.
As you say, Selfmade starting solo on the red. Definitely helps out his laners because you can hide where the jungler is early on, but you really can't do that when the enemy team is at your blue buff. Hylissang's going to come across here, check it, knows that it's being done, so Selfmade could go straight for the enemy blue invade. And if that happens, we'll see a split map which means Razork's like to spend most of his time in the mid and bottom lane, and Selfmade's like to spend most of his time on the top side.
Yeah, it's interesting because you look at Selfmade on the rec side, and he doesn't have really great lanes to play around. Like, top lane, you're not going to get a whole lot done. Like, you can shadow the gangplank and allow him to push up because GP can get quite aggressive in the early levels with trades. But, you know, bot lane's not going to be a great option. Mid lane would probably be his best bet once Nemesis can skill the cage. But for now, with all this deep vision, he is being completely shut down. And if Razork wanted to run towards his top side, like, he could. He could try to defend that blue buff and really deny Selfmade anything.
I guess the thing is now that you've spotted Selfmade on this ward, I wonder if Razork goes for it now. You didn't actually know if Selfmade had pushed in towards your blue early on, and Razork instead is going to path down towards red.
Yeah, now I do have a slight gripe with Razork's pathing here. You can see he stole away the enemy wolf camp and not the Gromp camp.
Yeah.
Now, the Gromp camp is worth so much more than the wolves. I think it's about a 35 EXP difference at level 1, and of course would mean you hit level 3 after taking 3 camps yourself. So Razork's still level 2, while Selfmade is 3, and looking for a gank in mid lane, like I mentioned.
Feb even knows that Razork is, well, Selfmade is nearby at least because he saw him on the ward. Will get stunned up. Febby, no cleanse, already locked down, gonna flash away. Razork's on the chase now, flashes in for Nemesis, a shield bolt. Nemesis just about escapes. Basically no HP, and here comes the TP. Selfmade stepping in. Look at the damage coming out from Pavivin. 1-for-1 trade. Now Bwipo joins the party, joins the fight. Flashes forward. Pavivin's going to try and get away. Hylissang was flanking him as well. And Nemesis and Bwipo will secure the second kill of the game for Fnatic.
Dude, it wouldn't be a Fnatic game without Bwipo teleporting somewhere else on the map at 3 minutes in and finding a kill.
Bwipo attacks.
He always attacked, and he's going to run straight back up into that top lane with a red buff as well. So laning not going to be fun at all for Dan. Look at this play one more time, because as you said, Febivin should have known that Rek'Sai could be in the area, but was calling Pantheon over. So it looks like a bait at the start. Of course, I don't think he needed to walk into the wall to get stunned, but they couldn't finish off Nemesis there, who flashed out of the range of those Sand Soldiers.
Dandan just dies to Bwipo. He's already used Flash. Oh, okay. Well, we know who wins that 1v1. It showed it last time. Is that faster than his death on the Nocturne?
This is bad news. This is really bad news for Misfits already. You have 2 kills on a gangplank with red buff in the lane. Like, oh, it's hard to come back from this.
Yeah, already 1,000 gold lead for Fnatic, and Selfmade is going to get the blue steal away as well. This is great start from Fnatic. Bwipo getting that early kill, getting the red buff, being able to just chunk out Dandan in the lane. Now Razork is on a ward. Selfmade has the smite, secures the blue, and it's a very good start for Fnatic here. A lot of people are asking, are they the best team in our league after their last couple of weeks' performance? Well, right now it's looking like it, but Hylissang perhaps caught out. He was 200 health left on the Tarm Kench. That is the power of Zaya Rakan if you can land those knockups.
Yep, bot lane going well at the moment for Misfits, but they are down in CS with a big wave pushing in towards Reckless's tower. So should start slipping away from them, and I actually like... Top lane's a big issue, right? Like, Bwipo had the red buff for that kill. He still holds on to it with a frozen lane up here, too. Razork on the opposite side of the map. So this lane is actually just never going to get fixed. It's going to take a long time before the minions start naturally pushing back towards Dan. The whole time you can deny.
Is this desperation ender? If they go for the dive here, is it a little bit too much too early? Are they looking for the kills? Misfits trying to dive onto Hylissang, but the teleport is there. Nemesis comes in. Exhaust down on Razork already. Then it gets the kill, but Razork, even with the Aegis Assault, is just going to get stunned up. Fnatic always answer. Fnatic always find a fight. They get 1-for-1.
Fnatic always with these teleports. First it was Bwipo to mid, now it's Nemesis to bot all over the map, and now Selfmade coming behind Dan. This dude is dead.
I'm so sorry, Dan. You cannot feel good right now, but Selfmade's here, ready to sink in the fangs. Even with the Haymaker shield, you're not going to survive. Bwipo, he's on a killing spree, and we are 6 minutes into this game.
I'm telling you, Medic, don't blame the pick, blame the player. The first time it was Nocturne, now it said it doesn't matter. He is getting smashed by Bwipo once again. Now teleporting back into that top lane, it's Nemesis in mid.
Selfmade's caught up in the cage, and it does use a good Emperor's Divide to get away, but Hylissang's on the chase. Land the first tongue lash, and here we go. Cannon Barrage, another kill. Hylissang flashes away from the turret. Oh, this is devastation. This is demolition. This is destruction from Fnatic.
The games are bloody, and it is Fnatic coming out ahead time and time again. I mean, Nemesis is now 3 kills, same score as Bwipo. The scaling levers here on Fnatic's side doing so well so early, and this is sort of the idea they wanted to go for the last time Veigar was in the game. And with that Glacial Augment, as we mentioned, going to be increasingly more difficult. Now, Razork is level 4 looking for this tower dive.
He died the last time he dived. He died the last time he dived.
Danik is here too, though.
Whippo looking for the trade. The barrel comes out, they're going to lock him up. Whippo's still very healthy here. Haymaker comes down. Good dive from Misfits.
Really important shutdown there from Dan, waiting for Danik to get around so they could tank that tower, and they executed very, very well on that play. The plates go over 2, so it's just a 400 gold difference up in the top side of the map.
600 in mid lane, though. Now about 500 and a bit. Nemesis, 3 kills as well. He's on a killing spree. This Veigar pick definitely working out for Fnatic so far.
You can see Nemesis in a little bit of debt right there, too. He went for the futures market option, so since he is in the inspiration tree for that Glacial Augment, is going to be really trying to get towards his first 2 slow items as fast as possible, because that is another initiation tool for this Fnatic team, right? You have these long-range slows. That's how you started off with Gangplank ult, with the Spooky Ghost from Nemesis. These are your options, and as they continue to stack objectives, gold in the early game, they only get more and more fearsome.
We'll see where Misfits find their ray of hope, because at the moment they're 1,000 gold down, 8 minutes in the game. They're an Infernal Dragon down. They are losing in CS in 2 of the 3 lanes. And Fnatic are building up towards those first completed items.
Right, so good news for Razork. He's about to hit level 6 after he finishes the red buff. Bad news is, mid lane, once again, the target for Selfmade.
Febby still has flash, Selfmade unable to land the knockup. And I do wonder if Febby should have taken the cleanse in this matchup, maybe would have helped him out a little bit against Nemesis, who's landing those cages, but does mean you give up priority on your mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the running teleport is fine in this matchup. You just can't walk into the wall. Yeah. Right? And the idea is pre-6, you use your flash to escape the first gank, which didn't work for Feb event, and then, of course, got punished afterwards. And then post-6, you should be able to knock people away and buy time for that to fall.
Danik very safe on the Rakan, of course. You can just use the battle dance to jump a long way away if the Xayah is your bot lane companion. Razork has hit the level 6. Danik now pinging over towards it, but here we go. Razork caught out post the Aegis Assault, but he's not going anywhere. Selfmade gets his first kill of the game, and maybe the dive's going to be on here as Danik's getting licked up by Hylissang.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful tracking and roam right there. Now, Fnatic 4v2 under this tower. Febby's TP about 15 seconds away. He's going to try and run down here, but he's not going to be fast enough.
This has got to be something magical. This has got to be something very special from the bot lane of Misfits.
Razork has respawned and is running down here to try and ulti on in.
Moonlight Vigil, there's the root, but they go straight onto the time catcher. No! Down. B-Boy's going to die as well. The Grand Starfall did come out. Actually, it was Forbidden chasing off towards the side. The chase is on. Void Rush. 2 kills already for Fnatic as Reckless tanks up the tower. Forbidden trying to do what he can, but Reckless will survive. Grand Starfall comes in by Razork, flashing forward, doesn't quite have the vision, doesn't quite have the range. Reckless, in the end, gets a shield to the face and gets taken out. It's a 3-for-2 so far in favor of Fnatic, and they are still chasing Razork down.
Misfits are trying to do everything in their power to fight back here. First, they pick off Hylissang, are able to lock him down underneath the tower, and Razork comes in too, but at the end of the day, it is still a win for Fnatic. Nemesis on the roam, right next to Selfmade. That's the mid-jungle synergy everyone was waiting for when they brought Selfmade into this roster, and has continued to look better and better week on week.
Yeah, previously on Mad Lions together, this team is strength to strength, week after week. Fnatic seem to just be improving time after time. Facebreaker comes out, there's the stun into the showstopper. Whippo tries to survive, but in the end, Danik didn't need that final order. Razork could have taken the kill, but you'll take what you can get at the moment if you're Misfits.
Yeah, Danik saw Hylissang coming around, was like, we're not going to take any chances on this one, and knocked Whippo down. Misfits with a momentary bit of control around this top side of the map, which will get taken away because Reckless is up here while B-Boy was pushing down bot side, so it won't be a Herald opportunity for them. Instead, Fnatic with control and Whippo with the TP could look to move in towards that themselves, or just for a pick on B-Boy.
B-Boy flashes, escapes for the moment. Selfmade gobbled up by Hylissang. You can see the event horizon, the baby cage put down, stops Danik in his tracks. He will be looking towards a QSS here on the Rakan. It's so difficult to play unless you can get out of that stun.
Yeah, here's the dive one more time. Notice how Misfits just go straight on in, charm up, and then knock up Hylissang, so he had no opportunity to use his own E. Of course, the damage goes down and was enough, and then, oh, he follows him the whole way away. The last time I saw Selfmade go for an ultimate like that, it was in the spring playoffs.
With an Infinity Edge.
With an Infinity Edge. He didn't get the crit, he died, and his team got eliminated from contention. This time he gets the kill. Things go well for Fnatic.
Yes, and he'll be hoping
that was a
he can make his
stretch,
way
just
back.
like the ultimate.
Yeah, you got there. B-Boy rooted up, Selfmade coming in, but the charm comes out. That's good play from Denick, keeping B-Boy alive. The Void Rush from Selfmade. Oh! The trust there from Selfmade, knowing that Hylissang had the Devour, could eat him up and get him out of the fight.
Yeah, but forget whether or not Fnatic got kills right there. There's still plates to be had. The CS difference is 40 at 12 minutes. The last time these teams played too, Fnatic got off to such an amazing early game start. Like, they are slamming, not just in top lane, which has been neutralized after Dan got some assistance, but mid and bot is going so well for them.
And both of these teams are some of our best early game teams in the league. They both are heading gold on average. They both have high kills at 15 minutes and mediocre deaths. You know, Fnatic just below average, Misfits sitting up at the top. So I'm not surprised. We're not surprised at all by this slew of early game action, but 16 kills in 30 minutes is still pretty darn fast.
Yeah, we definitely knew this was going to be coming. Fnatic, off to a very good start here. Now, the conversation becomes now, how do Misfits, battle back, right? They do have a strong backline. Not to say that they outscale necessarily, because of course Fnatic have so much firepower of their own, but time is definitely going to be their ally to try and neutralize things for the time being, and getting B-Boy back into a position where he can compete against Reckless, because Reckless just went back to base, finished off an Essence Reaver and a pickaxe on top of that. B-Boy is just, struggling to put those components into anything that means anything in terms of itemization.
And there's just been so many pressure points from Fnatic on the map. It's hard for Misfits to find the answer they want. Dan coming in towards this bottom lane. There's the Grand Skyfall. Now it's a 2v2 for the moment, but the teleport's coming in. Dan will be looking for the Haymaker. Razor caught out by himself. And Nemesis, Fnatic, and the rest of the team are just going to chase him down. Reckless is giving the kill. Hylissang chasing Denick down towards this bottom side, as well as Misfits have to give up the turret. Now, B-Boy and Febby are in the mid lane pushing for tower.
Yeah, they're pushing to try and respond for the towers, but it's against 3 members of Fnatic bot side who are able to zone off of that minion wave. Still Dan trying to come on in and pick up something, but it will be Fnatic getting the tower, getting the Drake on top of that, and getting just about everything they can ask for.
Selfmade is going to be forced out by Denick just for the moment. Until the rest of Fnatic can answer, it becomes a little bit difficult for him just to do this by himself. Denick doesn't have the Ignite, but I'm not sure if Selfmade knows that. And you can see good stuff from Denick, just trying to keep this Ocean Dragon aggroed for as long as possible. Selfmade spams the laugh, and as soon as Nemesis is able to come and answer, Denick has to back away. 14 minutes in, second Dragon of the game for Fnatic. They have a 4,000 gold lead off of plays like this.
This is the play one more time. Fnatic see Misfits coming in on the play. Misfits, of course, were trying to set it up on towards Blippo, but everyone gets involved. And this is how Fnatic play the game. They're so in sync when it comes to bailing their players out of tough situations. Everyone will commit to the play because they're that confident in their team fighting ability. They say, hey, you want to fight us? We'll take you on. We're just that much better, and it worked that time.
It helps when your 3 carries have 3 or more kills at the 15-minute mark. Definitely gets you up towards those item spikes. Nemesis has now got himself a Medjai's, 9 stacks on that. Trinity Force finished on Bwipo. He's in a very strong position, and Hylissang's just like, you think that's your jungle? That's my jungle, I'm afraid. Tahm Kench devours everything in his path.
Yes, he does. And that's going to be increasingly more difficult for Misfits to deal with later on in the game, too, when Dan trying to grab onto a backliner like a Nemesis and kill him, try to lose some of those Medjai stacks. Well, there's a Tahm Kench right there to gobble him up. So I think that Nemesis, rather, is actually pretty in the right here to go for the Medjais. He doesn't think he's going to be dying anytime soon. Even though Misfits have dive tools, once he starts to get more of these slow items, it becomes so hard to actually approach into that Veigar without him just pressing R and instantly one-shotting you.
Misfits definitely on the back foot. Last week against Rogue, they were about 2,000 gold ahead at this point in the game and still managed to lose it. Here, they're staring down a pretty sizable deficit, sitting around that 4,000 gold mark. Losing their mid lane tower now just opens up the map even more for Fnatic to find these picks, find these fights.
Yep, and remember those globals. So we're always looking at like the teleport cooldowns, right? The Abyssal Voyage from Hylissang too. Everything's up except for Nemesis's at the moment. He's actually going into a side lane. Now this is where things could get a little hairy for Fnatic if he spends a lot of time there, because right now him in a side lane is really good, right? You know, no one can probably beat him in the 1v1, but as soon as Misfits try to get more people involved, things can definitely swing around. So for him, it's just about pushing out that side lane, probably picking up minions, and then grouping up with the rest of his team, because that is where he is going to be so insanely strong, is just going next to Selfmade, pressing his 2 button for the Spooky Ghost, and then hunting inside the Misfits jungle.
He now is sitting at 149 stacks on his passive, so a huge amount of extra AP on that Viego. I think he's overall at about 388 ability power, and that's with non-ability power items, really. The Super Soaker and the Spooky Ghost are really not itemizing towards the most damage, more for the utility they can provide. Dan able to dodge away from the cage, gets the showstopper in. Here come Misfits, they're looking for the fight. Teleport in by Fnatic as they try and turn it around, but Nemesis is already down. Now Whippo and Selfmade have taken that one, but Denik and Razzle can try and trade. In the mid lane, Forbidden is forced away by Hillisang. Whippo trying to do what he can, but the Aegis assault from Razzle is good. The stun comes out, the charm comes down, and Selfmade ticking down with the ignite will fall. They're going to get away from Whippo as well, and that's a great trade for Misfits.
Yeah, Misfits do battle in the side lane. They're Razork and Denik teaming up, the 2 rookies so on the same page, and they shatter those Mejai stacks. Nemesis just down to 1. We were just talking about how he is vulnerable in a side lane, and the dive from Misfits pays off when there's not a Tahm Kench next to protect the Nemesis.
Because as much as we say Fnatic have the globals, Misfits also have the Grand Starfall to answer, and you can see that's exactly what happens
and
here.
if Fnatic had just been slightly more patient, they would have actually seen via the Spooky Ghost that Rakan was approaching into that fight. Now, it was a good stop on the TP, I believe, with the R Gravitum right there from the Aphelios, but of course, Nemesis was taken out, and once Nemesis goes down, that's a whole lot of damage. And also, Razork using the E to block the damage coming through from Whippo, flashing forward in order to get what he needed to down on Nemesis, or rather Selfmade, was very important in the outcome of that fight.
Misfits are able to find just a couple of kills to try and get themselves back in this game, but they are still at a deficit. Fnatic still very much in control of the game. A minute on the Cloud Dragon. Fnatic already have 2 in their inventories.
The thing is, all the gold is in the bot lane right now. If we actually look at the comparisons across the board, like,
It's 3,000.
It's decently close in top, decently close in mid. There's a lead for Razork. Like, B-Boy is just not even in the same game as Reckless right now. He's stuck 5 minutes behind the rest of the curve with how far ahead Reckless is. So fights with Reckless in the picture are going to be very, very good ones for Fnatic. They should be wins.
Eyes on Reckless. If he survives for any sort of duration in a fight, Fnatic should be able to win out these fights.
Yeah, like Reckless just has the casual infinity edge over B-Boy right now.
I mean, that's not a huge amount of gold, is it? Just increases all of your crit damage alongside giving you crit chance and AD. However, low mobility and AD carry is the Aphelios. He does have flash, he does have heal, but you also have the Tahm Kench to devour you.
So I think this is a good move from Razork. He knows the 5v5 isn't going to work, so they have to cede to this Drake, even though that will put Fnatic on soul point here with the Cloud. Misfits not too concerned about that one. Selfmade is just inside the enemy jungle scouting out. He saw Dan with the footprint, so was maybe considering setting up a dive. Instead says, I'm going to take the red buff, get the push in mid lane as well. Dan will get chunked out underneath this tower, but knows the rest of his squad is on the way.
Dragon's going to get started by Fnatic. Now, Forbidden has been pushing in the side lane by himself for a while. No Rift Herald there to help him. However, should be able to chunk out at least half of this turret's health, if not all of it. There's another wave pushing in, and here comes the teleport. That's Nemesis.
Well, there's Hillisang is here too.
Hillisang could go in.
I don't think they will.
Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight?
He walked into the Fog of War, so they're not quite sure where to position that Abyssal Voyage. They will instead back away here. Now, while all this is happening, right, like, Fnatic's still in a very good position, right? They got the Drake. Of course, I think Misfits are responding with some good moves. Febby pushed out that whole wave in top side. Razork picked up the Rift Herald. But also, B-Boy has just been pretty much perma-farming his team's jungle. Like, Razork doesn't need the money anymore, so B-Boy took Wolves while Febby took the Gromp on the top side of the map too. So Misfits have a very clear idea of just putting as much money into those 2 carries as possible, especially to try and close the gap between B-Boy and Reckless.
You definitely want your AD carry up there in fights, otherwise the Xayah is just going to be tickling Fnatic as the fight begins. That gold leader stayed stable around the 3,000 gold mark. Razork now with the Rift Herald could look to use that to break open the mid lane turret. Misfits only have 1 to their name so far.
Yeah, honestly, I wish like Razork could call B-Boy over and be like, here, take the crap, just take it. Like, you need the money. Like, the Raptor should go to him. He should take the whole mid wave too. Like, B-Boy needs money, is what I'm trying to tell you, because in 4 minutes, if B-Boy is not close to Reckless, the fight is lost and Fnatic get the soul. And it might even happen sooner if Fnatic set up around this Baron. Now, with the vision cone there, I don't think Fnatic will just start that one dry. But hey, I mean, they have the pick tools, so if they can make Misfits think that they have started up, if Misfits ever try to walk into a tight corridor and Nemesis is around, they will instantly be deleted.
See Misfits giving up all control of the bottom lane. There's a wave pushing in there. They say we need 3 people, or we need 5 people to mid lane. The Rift Herald needs 1 charge to take down this turret. Nemesis is on his way. Of course, no teleport on that Vigo was used earlier. And there goes the tower. Here comes the chase. Cannon Barrage coming out. Moonlight Vigil doesn't hit B-Boy, pops a Featherstorm. The cage isn't going to land either, and Fnatic being able to force Misfits back, but Misfits did get the tower.
Yeah, Fnatic have committed a couple of ults now to try and get pressure on this next wave. Probably going to then coast up into that top side jungle.
Where Denik is.
Denik could find Reckless.
He steps into vision. He could find Reckless, but I think Denik has now been spotted. Does he know? Does he know?
Fnatic should be able to go up into the top side jungle and get away from this.
Here he goes. The Rakan flank to Endor flanks. Hittersang's going to chase him out though. Razork there. Here comes the charm. The exhaust has been used, but it's a 4-man charm. Misfits just can't answer. Misfits were nowhere near that. Denik tried to make the hero play, but there was nothing doing as Fnatic chunked him out.
Yeah, Denik was playing a different game to the rest of Misfits right there, because they were saying we can't get into this fight. Again, it's really hard for them to enter a fight with just running at them. Like Pantheon, they just can't do that. So Fnatic are able to turn around, Hylissang trying to zone away Denik, then they delete him. And now Misfits have had to recall. This is just going to be a free Baron for Fnatic. Absolutely no reply from Misfits.
A little bit of miscoordination there from Misfits, you have to feel. Fnatic pounced on the opportunity to take a kill. But it looks like Misfits might get the chase on. Hylissang, stop. Whippo, stop. Self-made here, and Nemesis has stopped his own recall. Hylissang getting chased out. The stun's going to land off towards the top side of Dan wasn't able to find his connection. Fnatic all get out with the Baron alive on all 5.
Not even a consolation kill right there. I mean, we're seeing right now, Denik in the Fog of War. Oh, he gets caught by the minion wave. Did not respect that. And that's when Hylissang says, I'm going to go up top. I'm going to make sure we can zone this guy away. I think it's spotted out again by the wards in that brush. And, I mean, with the zone control, the cage down on the bot side, like, the W as well, like, Nemesis' zoning made it so that the rest of Misfits could never enter the fight. And Denik wasn't updated to that information either. He couldn't pan down, or Misfits weren't able to call off the play. Regardless, he went in, died, and Misfits had to cede the Baron, which is going to last through the time that this Cloud Drake spawns, and Fnatic have the lead. So like Fnatic should be able to set up with pressure in mid lane, with pressure around the areas of the map, try to pull Misfits up topside, leading up to the dragon, and then instantly sprint all the way back down towards the other and just make him dance circles.
And Nemesis sitting on 197 stacks now on his phenomenal evil power as Self-Made tunnels away. You can get under the soldiers, you can't get over them. Self-Made was able to get over that wall. Febby is getting chased out here, he flashes. Meanwhile, the rest of Fnatic are pushing in the top lane. It's Whippo, Reckless, and Hylissang who are the crew. Dan stepping forward, base breaker gets the pull back, but there's the knockup. Nemesis has to flash himself. The turret in the top lane is down to about half HP, but Misfits have been able to defend it for the moment. Dan's going to come across, as is Forbidden.
Misfits just don't have the wave clear, I don't think. B-Boy not able to do enough, so this tower has been getting chunked out. That is a good E from Razor, good spot on that ability. Fnatic should be able to eliminate this.
Yeah, Fnatic take the turret now. Misfits, you don't have the opportunity to fight. You haven't got flash on your Rakan. You can't get in. This is the inhibitor tower down and only 8 seconds left on the Cloud Drake. At some point, Misfits, you got to fight. At some point, you got to pull the trigger because otherwise, Fnatic are going to bleed you dry. They need 1 dragon for the soul point.
Oh my.
Teleporting in. Okay, this is deep. This is deep. They're looking for a fight.
Yeah, there's a teleport on the other side. Febby's ult is going to be back up in about 10 seconds. So he wants to find the flank. They need to find Reckless. If Reckless survives, I don't see how you can win the fight.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my god, look at Febby, look at Febby!
Bivin is in the perfect position, but can they kill Reckless? Razzle jumps forward, they get the shield vault, they get the kill, the shutdown is what they wanted! But now Misfits are still in a 4v5 as they go for the fight. Bivin trying to do what he can, but he's done. Caught out with the Vigar ultimate, B-Boy's going to join the fight now as they look for the kills. Self-Made on the front line, Dan's done. Fnatic find 2, Misfits running for the hills. B-Boy wasn't in the fight for the majority of it.
And the rest of Fnatic are on the hunt now. Denik trying to escape, trying to salvage something, but still at the end of it all, there's a Drake on the map for Fnatic to take. Yes, they lost Reckless, but they traded Febby's life for, and it will still be them picking up the win.
Cloud Drake on the menu for Fnatic. This game has been blistering, it has been breakneck, and Fnatic continue to find advantage after advantage. 7,000 gold in the lead with a Cloud Soul to boot. This is impeccable stuff from Fnatic, looking like well, the best team in our league right now.
Yeah, I have to give so much credit to Febby at the same time, though.
Oh, they spot B-Boy. They pinged him.
Oh, okay, so they saw him running towards this top side of the fight. Still, though, it is Febby trying to get the kill onto Reckless. It works out beautifully, but then with that teleport from Whippo, super underrated right there because he's just buying so much time, and then Febby gets absolutely nuked. And yes, Fnatic wiped this, or they get the couple of kills in this fight. They turned that into the Drake. But I have to say, for Fevivin as a player, to like make this return back to the LEC after a disastrous 2019, to even be remotely close to the conversation as an MVP on the squad, like he had to find Reckless with the smart TP, the creativity to find that was just beautiful to watch.
It was really good stuff from Febivin, but it seems like it might not be enough because Fnatic have not given an inch this game. Denik dodges away from the cage. Botlane tower is the target for Whippo, but with no Baron buff remaining, it actually becomes a lot trickier. Super minions in the top lane are pushing in, but they're a little bit away from where Fnatic would like them to be. B-Boy was still rooted up there. Thought he was able to dodge to the side of it, but just the edge of the Moonlight Vigil connects. Razork puts down the Aegis Assault. Down, look for the flank. Denik, you're going in, you're flashing, you're trying to get on Nemesis. Salvin has the flank as well, but they already look through. Reckless, who manages to get out with the Devour. B-Boy gets one, Nemesis escapes, but there goes Febivin. And now Whippo's joined the party. Whippo's here to fray. Razork pops down the Aegis Assault once again, just about surviving, but Whippo's just tanking up the tower.
Look at him go!
Whippo, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? You give himself another kill over to Misfits.
Now look at this, Nemesis has teleported up into the top lane. He has home guard boots too, so he's gonna try to run them down, slow them, and then kill them in their base.
Denik tries to jump on Reckless, but can't get on him. B-Boy stunned up, locked up. Nemesis with the flank TP. Fnatic do not stop. Fnatic do not falter. They chase you down. There's no escape. Razzle caught up in the cage, has to flash, but these are the Nexus towers. This is the win in Fnatic's eyes. Reckless healing up with the Severum as Nemesis goes unstoppable. 23 stacks on his Medjais and 19 kills in their pockets. Fnatic at blistering pace. Fnatic at breakneck speed. Show they deserve to sit atop the LEC table.
Absolutely beautiful stuff from this team, getting it on since minute 3 with Whippo TPs, and then they end it on